Hello everyone and welcome back to Winter Data Meetup. My name is Alex and I will be your host for this session. I hope you are finding the sessions insightful and inspiring so far. Join Daria to explore Vertex AI, Google Cloud's all-in-one AI toolbox. Learn how to build, secure, and deploy AI solutions with easy for beginners and experts alike. Don't miss the change to unlock powerful AI tools and streamline your projects. And before we jump into our session, I'd like to take a moment to ask you for your support in growing our community and recognizing our incredible speakers. If you enjoyed today's discussion and want to stay updated on upcoming events and talks, please take a second to hit like and subscribe buttons below. Your participation helps us to reach a wider audience, allowing more people to learn from these insightful discussions about data and AI. Also, in the video description, you will find the link to the talk page where you can share your feedback, award Daria a badge, and to rate the session. Your input is incredibly valuable. It helps us to improve future events and ensures our speakers get the recognition. Additionally, we'd love to hear from you during the talk. If you have any questions or insights or comments, feel free to drop them into the chat. We'll gather all your questions for Q&A session at the end of our discussion. Your contributions make the discussion even richer and don't hesitate to participate. And now let's welcome our speaker to share her valuable insights with us. Daria, floor is yours.
Thank you, Alexander. Okay, well, let's start. First of all, thank you for taking time to participate in this session, and thank you very much the Data Zen community coordinators for organizing this Winter Data Meetup. I think it's quite an interesting event for everybody, and our talks are really good from what I was able to attend. So I hope I will do good enough and be at the right level for this presentation where we're going to talk about Vertex AI platform on GCP. And so let's move on. First of all, I want to give you a quick introduction of myself. My name is Daria Nguyen. I am a consultant at the Pump System France. I'm based in Paris. I got my primary background in electrical engineering and then PhD in computer sciences. Started my career back in the data domain back in 1997. Spent quite a few years developing a bunch of software solutions for scientific computations. For 5 years, landed in B2B marketing domain and then extended into digital marketing for 2.5 years in fintech startup. Well, since 2015, I returned back into the sweet world of data, beginning in data science and data analytics, and I'm still here. So, which means like it's over about 1 decade already. Uh, in the modern data world. Since February 2021, I became a consultant, data analytics consulting practice here, and focusing on data and AI architecture. Uh, so today we talk about Vertex AI, and I would give you a couple of remarks here. Why and what is Vertex AI? So why, first of all, I would say I'm not affiliated with Google, but actually it happened that my first experience of productionalizing data science and ML solutions was related with Google Cloud Platform. So I have still a certain sentimental attachment to it, and unfortunately, I didn't have too much too much opportunities to work with Google Cloud Platform in the context of data science and ML. But I started reading and learning about Vertex AI recently, and then actually what you will see here is an output of my exploratory efforts. um, so let's talk about it. So Vertex AI is a one-stop toolbox for AI. It's fully managed, unified AI development platform for building and using traditional ML stays still there. And the modern AI, it consists of several major building blocks. So let's start. The foundation is an ML platform. Then you have an AI studio, or you have a model garden, which today, according to the documentation from Google, contains about 160 models pre-built and preset for you. Vertex AI offers access to Gemini models from Google, and I highlighted Gemini here because I want to talk about it a little bit in more detail later. A new addition to this collection, AI Agent Builder, which I found pretty cool. So there will be certainly some focus on this part later through this talk. In a nutshell, Vertex AI lets you build, deploy, monitor, and manage all your AI and ML models at scale in production, from POC to production, actually, to be correct. Um, if you took a sort of helicopter view at the Vertex AI platform and its ecosystem, so you're going to see this bunch of boxes filled in with a bunch of other boxes. And that's why actually the title of this presentation is toolbox, because I think, in my opinion, it resembles this. Well, you may have different associations, but actually, as you look at it, you will see that you have those bricks which actually let you to cover everything surrounding delivery of AI and ML solutions. So you have a chunk of tools in your tool set, which let you discover the data, develop and choose your models, integrate everything together. You have this special tool set for prototyping and experimenting, customizing, augmenting, deploying. Finally, but not quite an important part, so it's governing and orchestrating. And then there's an interaction part. Orchestration by the AI agents is not the same orchestration which is for your ML and AI pipelines. You have this grounding and augmenting capability, and then there is a tool set for taking actions. This is actually what the agents are built for. Quick deviation, as I promised. So let's talk about Gemini and what is so cool about it. I think the first, it is natively multimodal. It's like human beings, we are natively multimodal. If I give you a word orange, like some of you will imagine just the text. Depending on your context and your background, some of you who, for instance, kind of working for telecom would imagine orange operators, those who are vegans or like, healthy food adapts, like think about oranges and oranges. Like you live in Korea, you may think orange movie. And if you have toddlers, you might kind of think orange song. So like this multimodality is in our human nature, and it was like natively put underneath of the Gemini models. Reasoning capability built in, deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning, both are present, but which works better or worse, like this is for you to judge. We will have a quick stop related to that later when I will show a small test on Gemini reasoning capabilities. And finally, it's optimized and it's optimizable. So optimized in a sense, it's optimized for GPUs and TPUs. And then there are a couple of tweaks you can do actually. You can choose the right model size based on your use case. And what is pretty exciting, the prompting window size, you can you can tune it, you can configure it. It's like today Google claimed up to 2 million tokens in the prompt, which sounds pretty cool and may finally get rid of a certain RAG-based solutions because it's like going to replace it to a certain extent. Current Gemini models, it's a family, right? So it's not a single thing. It's like you have a very basic stuff where text inputs and text outputs for your Q&A like solution. And then finally, the most recent addition to the family, Gemini 2 Flash, 2.0 Flash, sorry, bear with me. So here we go. Hope it made you think about to try it. Let me know. What's inside the Vertex AI main components? As I showed on the previous slide, so there's quite a big collection of boxes with different tools. So you got a model garden with 3 subsets like open source models, task-specific models, foundation models, which in this case primarily Gemini, but also this AutoML solutions which existed for a while. Generative AI Studio lets you design your prompts, tune your prompts, and fine-tune your models if needed. AI Agents Builder tasks orchestration, grounding, and augmentation, taking actions. All these supported by the ML platform, where you have capabilities to develop things. You have your development data science toolkit, notebooks, and recently appearing Vector AI notebooks. And also with data service integration, this all comes together to the next step, where you need to do a deployment and orchestration. So you get here fully managed workflow and infrastructure. And at the bottom, the very basic part is a governance. First glance, if you open a page on GCP console with the Vertex AI platform, so you will see several preset widgets with the mainly like main components where you're gonna be actually starting your journey. So at the top, you can access Vertex Studio. You can check what's in the model garden, and you don't forget you have this Collab Enterprise, like for developing your notebooks. You can prepare your data model, develop your models, and then deploy and use. So this is kind of supports your flow in this sense. Model garden components, so are I think it's not exhaustive, this illustration, but as far as it's so large, I mean, like I pre-selected certainly only some examples. So 5 lines here. You can see Gemini Foundation models, Google Foundation models like Palm 2, etc. So Google task-specific models, which have been for a while. You might have been familiar with them if you've been using Google Cloud. So the text-to-speech translation, but also kind of quite a multi-model in the sense that there is a video and natural language processing and audio. What is raising now Google domain-specific models, but in general, I think that's kind of somewhat the next vector of the development here, where the industries will kind of push towards development of highly specialized models, like here, MedLM. You may imagine this is for medical and healthcare applications, and SecPalm, like for security. Underneath, partners and open source models, all the full collection of everything which is available today, pretty up to date. What does it give you? It gives you choice and flexibility with a final purpose to reduce your time to value, right? So like you may not need to build anything from the scratch. You just need to carefully select what exists already and which best suits your use case. ML platform, end-to-end ML ops for data scientists and ML engineers. So those of you who started at early days of data science and machine learning probably have heard those stories, like companies bringing on board 5 PhDs, data scientists. They have the best performing models ever. And then end of the day, I'm sorry. So end of the day, there's nothing working in production. So my apologies, I was interrupted. So there's nothing working in production. So like there is a break of model development, which was perfect. You were doing your model training, your model testing, and then suddenly, while you need to do the hard part, right? So this is the model deployment and orchestration and monitoring. And indeed, you also have to care about this model governance. So when before companies were developing 1, 2, 3 models, they knew about them. When they now have hundreds and thousands of models in their possession, they may even forget what is in their possession. So model register actually you get a full listing of everything which is important and what you possess, to what you can have access, what it delivers, etc. So data scientists, bear with me, but once you had a situation inheriting a data science ML solution from another data scientist who already left the company, having a model cards would be brilliant idea. It's like sort of one pager with all the characteristics, a lot of visual charts there for the performance metrics. So you just can get a quick glance, and instead of reading hundreds and hundreds of pages, like you can pretty quickly get on board onto this model inheritance phase. Model provenance, it's easy. Well, anyone can serialize the model and publish the file with this model on your cloud and then expose it through the endpoint, and you don't know even where it came from. So tracking model provenance is essential, and compliance, of course. I mean, like this is just no doubt to talk about. I put here a couple of links if you want to read more about, let's say, model registry or these model cards, which I'm I'm so excited about. But here on the next slide, I want to stop very quickly on the governance topic, right? So many times I talk model governance and people say, what she's talking about? I mean, we are data scientists, we're like ML engineers, we are not in the governance, but you have to think that I will not kind of go in all the detailed illustrations here. The key message here is to just keep in mind that our governance covers the whole cycle from POC to the maintenance, right? Deployment and kind of maintenance are what it serves and how I define it. It's actually a framework to manage risks. You manage risks that you implement your AI and ML solutions responsibly, ensure they compliant, they secure, and finally, which is a very important, that they always answer the and satisfy specific stakeholders requirements, right? So you keep monitoring, you kind of keep tracking what's going on, or you keep even improving the things on the go. For that, you have to have all the metadata in place. You have to have your performance monitoring in place, and you definitely, and it's no doubt, it's like must have compliance and security controls needs to be there. Um, Another huge advancement which ML platform allows these days is actually that it lets you to manage the whole life cycle of your model. So once the business problem understood, you go into data preparation, model selection, feature engineering, training, tuning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, what you have here is the full life cycle management with a model evaluation in the middle, because this step is quite important and it sits in the middle of this world, because everything which you cannot measure, you even shouldn't talk about, but basically you cannot improve. So when you can measure, you can improve, and that's why model evaluation takes this centric part. What's happened recently? Traditional ML models kind of sort of known process and approach for evaluating and measuring. What Vertex AI added is a Gen AI evaluation service. Several tools in this box, so you can select model, best pre-trained model for your use case. Generation setting, like hyperparameters if you wish, like you can tune your temperature and see how it impacts the hallucinations. Prompt engineering, so you can select the best of the best prompt templates. You can include this evaluation in the model fine tuning, because right, you may kind of fine tune, but never get like higher and better performance. So RAG optimization in terms of the architecture, or maybe chunking strategy, or maybe ranking, or which you kind of put at the tail of your RAG's output. So and you also can do evaluation of the AI agents. So how it looks like, so imagine you use the same prompt, you're passing it like here in two models, but you can actually pass it to all the models you pre-selected. You get the prediction results and they get evaluation metrics. Here, they're using LLM as a judge, and also it provides an explanation on why one response outperforms the other response. So it actually triggers your thinking process and gives you the opportunity to choose best of the best and do very kind of conscious selection. Where do you move? Uh, Pipelines, I put it specifically here. It's a little bit kind of stays aside of the main thing, but pipelines is an essential part, right, of your ML engineering. You have to have a pipeline to kind of push things through the from the entrance to the exit. And I highlighted specifically the templates because our early stages, as I said, that was not so trivial to put in place even the most essential pipeline for kind of classification and regression traditional solutions. And imagine like now you have to deal with reinforcement learning, like integrating human feedback in a back loop, or even like LLMs as a judge, giving the feedback and then reinforcement learning acting on top of your chosen model, kind of improving it and kind of feeding it back with the data in a feedback loop. So all that gives you quite a nice help. Vertex AI Studio, next break. This is what you see when you open the Vertex AI. It suggests talk with Gemini Live, right? So you can see here in the middle there is an interface or like UI interface, and then like on the right side you will see that you can select a model, you can choose a modality, right? So here it's set to the text, and also there are kind of multiple tweakers there. What it lets you play and test your model, any model you choose from the drop-down box. In this case, I tried to play with Gemini. I wanted to test it for solving my mathematical problem. It did actually pretty well. And then I recalled about the famous tic-tac-toe test. And beautiful part is that like you can actually feed the state of the tic-tac-toe board as an image to Gemini. Well, a bit sad news that the Gemini actually provided not the not the best next move as an answer in comparison with an open AI O1 Mini, who actually did better, I think. You would agree. Uh, However, there are good news. It's not so many business tasks that you need where you need to solve tic-tac-toe problems. So probably the model wasn't trained on such type of tasks, so which is okay. There's space for improvement. Nobody is perfect. Uh, Grounding service. You see, there's a toggle which you can switch on and switch off, and for testing it are really hard. I put a question: when did the Star Wars take place on the Earth? Well, in fact, the answer is pretty decent, right? It just didn't really answer nonsense and didn't hallucinate. What it instead did is actually also provide, specific citations inserted in the answer text. It's provided the grounding sources. Well, here I think it's duplicated them. I don't know, Google to check. And then our Google search suggestions. Actually, I can click and find some, like open source information on the web to get the answer. I mean, like to get more information supporting the answer to your question. How it all works. So what is under the hood? Of course, you've seen there's an interface for user to put the prompts. You can put the prompts with 0 shots, few shots, and you can do this in multiple steps. So it's like you can continue talking to your model. It all gets passed through the responsible AI safety gateway. Like, let's remember there cannot be not only harmful answers, but also can be harmful questions. So like once it asks something like very unethical fashion, give me the best recipe of I don't know, uh, breaking the bank. I mean, like that's probably will not pass the responsible AI and safety gateway. Well, your prompt gets propagated towards either a foundation model or pre-trained model or one of your fine-tuned model. Then you see it goes through the grounding service, whether it's kind of switched on or switched off. But even if your grounding service switched off, there is a citation check. I think it's one of the cool things because it's a process that determines whether generated response requires a citation to reference its sources. Like you remember on the previous screen, there is this small numbers in the brackets, and this is actually hyperlink. So it kind of brings you back to the source where it grabs this information and how it delivered it. So, coolest part, Vertex AI Agent Builder. This is the first screen you're going to see. So there is something which is already preset for you. You will see that you can you get this proposal of search and assistant type of agents, and then in the middle you have very generic conversational agents, and then you have several solutions suitable for recommendation agents, right? So normally, I mean, in the most cases, I believe if there is no like something predefined, preset, and very specific, you can gonna start with a conversational agent. And one of the options when you start building your conversation agents, there will be a proposal to use a pre-built agent. So as you can see behind, there is a kind of small collection of really specific pre-built agents to accomplish something like a small, very, very specialized task, right? Fashion like travel car rental, or even just small talk, or I don't know, uh, travel agent or so ever. So if you have the specifics, probably you have well, you can benefit from everything which was built for you, and hopefully you can also customize it and adjust it. How it looks under the hood, what is your toolbox here? First of all, there's three options, as I said. There is no code, low code, full code. So you can build with full code everything as you want. You can use this drag and drop, click, 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 build my agent approach. And then there is a low code. It's probably when you need to benefit from no code solution, but then you want some customization and you have to do a little bit of coding. So as we discussed in the toolbox, we have orchestration, but this is not an orchestration in a sense of pipeline. This is an orchestration of the sequence of tasks and action and sort of flow of interactions. You can ground and augment. There's a web search, like you can feed a private data sets, and you can actually benefit from the external sources connection here. Agents, they are agents. They have to take action sometimes. So there is an extension. They could call some functions. They can call some APIs. So they can probably perform something which you need them to accomplish, like fashion complete the booking. And also there is a collection of primitives, such as a documents processors, retrieval engines, and as I said, you can just think about rankers of different types and kinds, and also it's on top of the model builder, and model ground is still there. One example I wanted to share with you, I played a little bit. I built my shift bot, cooked in 5 minutes. So I start with nothing, right? No agent is created yet. I move to the next step when, as I said, I get this proposal, use a pre-built agent, build your own agent, or actually create a Q&A agent. So I picked build my own agent as an option, and well, I set it up, like, kind of specified several settings, and then the type of it on the kind of how do we start the conversation, how do we kind of define the agent. I choose a playbook mode, and when you choose a playbook mode, it actually gives you that. So you give a name to your agent, and then you define the goal. And here, in our case, the goal, the chief bot takes user input of a type of cuisine, the key ingredients you have, and then the dietary preferences, like I'm vegan, so ever. It allows user to swap ingredients. Like imagine I don't have maybe some components which my chief bot proposes for me. And then as a bonus, the chief bot can give me some interesting facts about the ingredients we selected. So I give it instructions. I say, well, greet my user, ask what he or she wants to eat, what are the preferences, generate recipe, ask if all goes well, you have all the components. If not, suggest replacements, regenerate it, or provide some interesting facts about this particular ingredients, and say, have fun with cooking. So that's it. Next step, you have your shift bot in preview. Well, you can start playing with it, and that's actually what I did. I started kind of nagging it with my questions and requests about cooking recipes. And finally, I was happy with the result. And in 6 minutes, you can get your agent published. So I wanted it to be the pop-up window. Imagine you just have to copy paste the piece of code underneath, and then you kind of get it exposed through your web application. Here we go. Other use cases. Well, I mean, if you've been in the world of data science, machine learning, like you are familiar with most of the use cases you could imagine for such, you know, um, solutions which people are building using data science, ML, and modern AI. So you can do document analysis, coding, language processing, video analysis, embeddings generation. All these collection of tasks, actually, if you look at the menu, you will see it's quite exhaustive list of things you can do. Some of them more or less generic fashion classification or detection or recognition. Some of them even can be pretty specialized in terms of the domain, like you see, like radiology, for instance. However, if you look in the real reality in the industrial application where it goes, just to give you a few examples, like you will kind of use in retail or build solutions for demand forecasting, customer analysis, build your product recommendations, optimize treatment in healthcare, do this through research on the medical literature and finance. It's often used for fraud detection, risk assessment. So nothing so much fancy at this time, but it keep moving and it keep moving very quickly. So like last but not the least in industry, you will deal with preventive maintenance and quality control. So this is kind of just an overview what's possible. What's possible these days? So these days, actually, we are not dealing with like a single task uh, applications, right? We are facing the situation when you have to build a compound AI systems containing a chain of tasks. And where this prompt response pair, kind of like question answer thing, can be just one of the tasks. And in fact, to deliver like the solution, you need to pass through multiple stages and you have to accomplish multiple tasks. And for this, you may have to employ multiple agents. And you also need to connect them together somehow. So if you think about the use case of building a solution which knows how to analyze customer feedback or do the sentiment analysis, which is not a rocket science, many kind of use cases been already built and deployed. But finally, you will have someone like artificial intelligence, equipped with artificial intelligence who knows how to generate insights and how to finally produce recommendations for the business. So what do you need for that? You need your data collection agent who knows how to go and search in the open sources, all the media, all the possible platforms, like imagine in Amazon, like reading the product reviews, collect the data. So next one will take care of preparing the data because like you imagine like your classifier will not digest data as is. Our sentiment analysis agent will employ NLP techniques. So it will kind of really classify the sentiments and assign sentiments to each and every feedback, like negative, or positive, or neutral. When it's done, where the magic starts, right? So we have insight generation agent. It's actually uses this classification of your sentiment analysis outputs, and it aggregates it. It kind of tracks the trends. It kind of collects the common pain points. It tries to build this um, reason reasoning behind saying, okay, this is your root cause of the problem, kind of communicated in this feedback, and then are actually handle like potential opportunities. All this gets delivered to the our action recommendation agent who will advise you like, hey guys, on zone, like reduce size of your, like make your packaging eco-friendly, that will kind of increase loyalty of all your customer audience, something like that. And actually this one you can build using Vertex AI. A helicopter view on the Vertex AI platform to finalize. So you're building your AI solutions, you're using underneath Vertex AI Agent Builder, Vertex AI Model Builder, Vertex AI Model Garden. It's all in your possession. And all this sits on the top of Google Cloud infrastructure where you have the computational power like TPUs, GPUs, you have all the data storages, etc., etc. So pretty nice. Important spot to keep in mind, Vertex AI security features. Well, I mean, unfortunately, at this time I had no opportunity to test it in something like real world or situations. But the good news, like all the controls and all the Google Cloud security controls to help secure models and training data are there. It's kind of fundamental things. You control the residence of your data. You can actually manage your own encryption keys. You can rely on all these virtual private cloud controls to ensure your privacy on the cloud. And then the control of the Google accessing your data, which is kind of transparency, is an important. So from the Google documentation, we know that some security controls aren't supported yet by generative AI features on Vertex AI. So I would believe there are some workarounds for most of them, but at least for me, less granular AM roles may bother because, like, you may want to restrict the access to different models or different kind of solutions. I don't know. And also logs are quite important for monitoring. So if they are less detailed these days, well, that might kind of um, trigger a need to build some custom solutions on top of that. To finalize and to wrap up, Vertex AI basic key features are first of all-in-one AI platform, AutoML and custom models kind of give you a huge choice of options. It's multimodal, it supports generative AI. There's a platform for supporting all your MLOps and orchestrations. Pretty cool addition as an AI agent builder with Google Insurance enterprise grade security is here. And then, of course, there's seamless integration with all the existing Google Cloud infrastructure underneath. Not so bad. If you want to learn more, I put here in a collection of useful resources for you. If you want to kind of drill down and try things, like there's a Google Vertex AI tutorials to start. And then I saw like DataCamp and Udemy actually providing a couple of nice kind of learning materials and trainings. Lots of publications in open source, like on Medium and other public resources. Now, I believe that's interesting. How and where can I start with Vertex AI? What I learned myself is like new customers get 300 of free credits to spend on Vertex AI when they're signing up. So this is an opportunity for you to start free. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this session, even it was a little bit probably too fast. I saw there was like not very good audio probably from my side. My apologies if this is the case. And let's look what the questions are.
Yeah, thank you very much, Daria, for interesting topic. Yeah, definitely need to experiment with this Vertex AI. And we have questions from the audience. Let's try to cover them. So first, is not OpenAI model available in Vertex?
To be honest, I didn't see it, but I didn't check precisely.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and could you maybe say some comparison of Vertex with AWS SageMaker, if you have?
Unfortunately, yeah, I mean, bad news. I'm quite experienced with GCP. I have like several years of experience with Azure, but I have pretty much zero experience with AWS. That's not my cloud of preferences. I was touching a few years ago our AWS SageMaker, but these days I don't know where they moved. And that's why I probably think the comparison from my side would be quite illegitimate.
Okay, got it. And does it make sense to use Vertex AI if I need to create a quick POC with AI? Is it a perfect
Or
solution?
I would say yes. I mean, like, of course, you can build a POC at the level of just piece of Python code. This is also an option, but here you have quite an opportunity to speed up your development. There are a lot of pre-built blocks, and actually, I mean, if you're building POC not for just sake of building POC, you like envision to take it and move forward with it into MVP and production. It makes total sense for me to use Vertex AI here.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm also interested in this no-code mod that you showed. Yeah, how powerful is it? And
Uh, it is quite powerful, you know. I was excited myself to see that this multi-agentic system you can build using this like low-code approach.
so
You
there
actually,
was
yeah,
no code, low code, and full code. Yeah, something like
yeah,
that.
full code
Yeah,
is
and
like,
what's about no code? Is it like So does it mean really that we don't need uh, data scientists anymore?
Well, it doesn't mean anything at this point. It literally depends on your specific use case. If it's something very simplistic and already existing, why would you bother to hire data scientists and pick their brains to build to build it? Well, and one day, of course, you're gonna be getting into a situation where it's a super complex, something which doesn't exist yet, some super innovative, and the best of the best data scientists probably will be required to solve this.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we also got an interesting question. From what I see within documentation, Vertex AI's main advantage is the powerful of Google queries and search. What would be critical use case for Vertex versus other AI platforms? Yeah, probably what are main advantages of Vertex AI versus other AI platforms?
um, well, it would be legitimate answer from my side if I
Hmm.
were an expert in all the existing AI platforms, which actually not the case, to be honest with you. Uh, so here you're seeing that this certain functionality related to the Google search and using it for grounding and actually for checking the citations and referring to the real open sources or open sources information for validation of the answer and supporting the kind of correctness and relevance are is quite the thing, like in many cases. Imagine you will be kind of suffering from hallucinations, but you even have no mean to detect that your model is hallucinating. So here it supports to solve this problem, but comparing to other platforms, I have no answer to that, unfortunately. I know
Hmm.
like OpenAI is also adding this grounding and kind of citation checks in their functionality recently, but I didn't test it yet and didn't try it really.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, you described many advantages of Vertex AI. Yeah, and it's the good like yeah, material to learn and to choose yeah what best fits the requirements. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Daria, for this presentation. Yeah, very interesting topic. Need to try. Uh, Thanks everyone for joining today's discussion. And in the description, you will find the link to access the presentation file and the recording. Also on the talk page, you can award Daria a badge and rate this talk if you like it, or maybe if you don't like it. Be sure to subscribe to our channels to get more content like this. And we hope to see you on our next sessions in Winter Data Meetup. Yeah, thank you very much, Daria. Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.